Hi, I'm Emily, 29, and I lost my cat, Paws, 2 years ago. The first time I met Paws, I was only 12 years old. I had returned from school that afternoon, and my mom asked if I wanted to visit the pet store. Prior to that pet store visit, I had been bugging my mom to get me a pet. My friends in school had bunnies, birds, and cats, and I just wanted to feel the love they experienced from their pets, and also get to talk about my pet. Aside from that, I was a cat lover and had been collecting pictures of different cat breeds for a long time. When we got to the pet store, Paws was in one of the cages stacked on each other. She was a shy kitten, waiting for a kind human to adopt her. She was curled up like a hairy ball, and her cute paws stuck out. The moment our eyes met, she let out a soft meow, and that's how I knew she was the one for me. I named her Little Miss Pink. Paws because of her adorable, cute paws, but my mom said the name was too long, so we shortened it to just Paws. The day we took her home was one of the happiest days of my life, and I can vividly remember how I was all over her till my mom yelled for me to give Paws a break. Right from that young age, Paws and I became best of friends, and I literally cared for her and watched her grow into a blue-eyed, brown, furry, full-grown cat. Paws was kind of dog-like because she learned to come when called by her name. She would climb ladders, play fetch, and roll over like a dog. She was there for me in the most challenging seasons of my life and was the only shoulder I had to lean on. Even though my mom was nice at times, she was a really toxic person and a terrible alcoholic. She would hit me and threaten me to not tell anyone, which I never did, and all through those tough times, Paws was always there to comfort me and help mend my broken heart. I got bullied a lot at school, and each time I told Paws all about it, she would snuggle me and remind me that she loved me. When my sister committed suicide as a result of the abuse she got from my toxic parents, I felt like my world had crashed, and I was able to pull through because Paws was there by my side. She was the reason I held on to life, and she wouldn't just let me be by myself. She followed me everywhere and loved to sleep off on my lap. Geez, I treasured her with all my heart, and we had many beautiful memories together. Sunday morning was one of my favorite days because Paws and I would have coffee together, clean the house while dancing, and play hide and seek. Even though I was so emotionally abused and scarred, Paws helped me become a better person. For 15 years, Paws never left my side. She was always there for me in sickness and in health, even when things were tough financially. She always greeted me at the door every time I returned home, and I loved hearing the bell on her collar jingle whenever she was out of sight and doing her stuff. 2 years ago, I found out that Paws had chronic kidney failure, and that was one of the most devastating news I had received after the news of my only sister's suicide. Unlike other people, I didn't have any family to fall back on for support. My parents were toxic, abusive, and didn't give a shit about me, so I figured it was better to do life on my own. For nights, I couldn't sleep. I stayed up thinking about Paws and how miserable my life would be without her. I was not ready to let her go, and if I could do anything to keep her alive, I would have done it. The vet had suggested that we put her to sleep unless I wanted to watch her health deteriorate. It was a very tough and heartbreaking decision. After long days and nights of thinking, I decided to go with euthanasia, and I felt so horrible about it. On her appointment day, I cried for 4 whole hours before she was put to sleep. I know she was wondering why her mom was so sad despite all her attempts to pacify me. Poor thing. She didn't know she was the reason. Later that day, the vet came over to my apartment and put her to sleep while she lay on her favorite spot on the couch. I wanted her last memories to be in the house and her favorite spot, and he agreed to do that for her. I was with her throughout the process and couldn't leave her side. She kept stretching her hands to touch me, and her soft meows really broke my heart. We buried her in my garden, and I cried till my eyes almost dropped out of my sockets. Even though 2 years have passed, I still find it very difficult to move on. Some friends have suggested that I get a new pet, but I just can't. For 15 years, I had only one friend, and replacing her feels like I'm betraying her. I don't know if it's my mind, but most nights I still feel her warm body press on me whenever I'm in bed. I've dreamt about her sleeping beside me so many nights, and there are days I stay home all by myself, and I swear, I have heard the bell on her collar ring from a distance at least thrice. She made me so happy and helped me move past my abuses, and I'm ever grateful to that angel in animal form. I'm glad I was a good mom to her, unlike my biological mother, and I know I gave her a good life. I miss you, my adorable little Miss Pink Paws.